Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Mixed Media Mayhem, which has been combined with May I Scraplift You. Today, I am scraplifting. I can't actually say the name. It's Turmoy lemacitron.blogspot.ca. I don't know. Obviously, I don't speak French. I believe that's French. I don't know. So, anyway. I pulled out a piece of white paper. This paper is actually just basil coconut swirl, and it's not something paper that I normally use for mixed media. I'm not even sure why I pulled it out, but I started out with some distressed oxide ink in aged mahogany and did a diagonal pass over my paper. And I apologize that you didn't get to see that. You did see me splatter some dilutions on there in black marble, and then I pulled out this stencil. This is a brick stencil from Lawn Fawn. And I'm just using Black Soot Distress Oxide ink to rub some of that around to kind of mimic the brick die cut that is in the inspiration piece. So I'm going with the diagonal and the brick at this point in time, which is what inspired me. And then I kind of just went a little bit crazy after that. So the stencil I'm using there that is green, it is from Kaisercraft, and it is a circuit board looking, or circuitry, I should say. And I am using some Artemisia silver paper glaze. I'll put links to these down below because I may not be saying them right. And that way you can find them easily if they are of interest to you. Anything that I can find anyway that is still available, I'll put links for. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that paper glaze right through the stencil. I'm liking how that's looking. It's adding a little something extra. And then I went to Creative Fabrica and looked up circuits, and I got this cut file. Well, it was a JPEG, and I turned it into an SVG. And what I am pulling off the mat right now is the original sizing. I did size it up a little bit on the right hand side there, but they were too big. I just wasn't sure that the smaller one was going to actually work out, and it did actually work out well. So what I did was I ended up cutting two more of them so that I had two to work with and one to do some test mixed media on, and then I saved the larger ones for another project down the road. So if that's of interest to you, I'll put a link for those down below as well. So I am trying using some Nouveau embellishment mousse in, I'm not sure what color it is, but it's the silver one. And I'll put a link down below if I can find it for you, like I said. And then I wasn't really sure that I liked it because it wasn't really bright enough. And so I thought, well, maybe I need to use black. So I tried my black Sharpie. Wasn't too thrilled with that either. So then I went to some Nouveau glitter paste, I think. Or maybe it's glacier paste in silver. And I went ahead and put that all over the two circuit digital die cuts or cut files. And I like how that looks a lot better. The silver is a lot brighter and it's sparkly, so it stands out more from the page. And so I just kind of brushed that on with my paintbrush. I used some old packaging underneath just so it would be less difficult to get off my desk, because as I'm doing it, this stuff dries fairly quickly, and anything with glitter in it is harder to get off of your surface than stuff without glitter. So I just was like, I'm not going to even try and do it right on my desk. I'll do it right over this piece that I can just throw away. I don't have to clean up a mat, or I don't have to clean up my desk from it that way. So then I also have this cut file from MK over at her Etsy shop, which is Some Assemblage Required, and it says unplug. And so I went over that with the same silver from Nouveau. It's a Nouveau glacier paste. And this took me quite a bit to figure out because I liked the way the silver looks, but it's not bright enough on my page. So I go through several iterations of mixed media on this cut file that says unplug. And I'm really happy with the way that it turns out at the end. So bear with me, because we're going to keep going down the rabbit hole of mixed media to alter this cut file. I will also have a link to MK's Etsy store down below for this cut file so that you can easily get to it if that's something that you're interested in. And as the ticker said at the beginning, they are most of the stuff will be affiliate links, so that I do get a little bit of money back from them. Not MK Store, but the rest of it. So, and actually that showed up pretty good right there, but I don't know. It was kind of blending in too much with the other stuff, and I'm happier with how it came out at the end. So seeing that on screen, it actually shows up a little bit better because it catches the light a little better than in person, oddly. So the circuitry did not have those horizontal bars on them on the edge. I added that in when I turned the JPEG into an SVG so that when it cut out, I wouldn't have each individual piece by itself, and then I would be able to line them up. So what I did was I put that little bar off the edge of the paper so I can cut it off easily. It's just there to be able to handle the cut file and not have all those little tiny slivers of paper be individual, like I mentioned. So I just started with the center one, laid it down where I felt like it was parallel to the top and the bottom of the paper, and then I worked out from there, and just doing one line at a time and getting each one laid down so it wasn't kind of wonky. I didn't want it to be tilted. I wanted it to look like it came right off the cutting mat. So that is what I'm doing here. I don't make you sit through watching all of the other one, but I did kind of leave some of it in so you guys get a good idea of what went into making this layout. So I do have the circuitry from the stencil, and now I have this circuitry, and I'm really happy with the way that it's looking because I was feeling like it needed something extra. In case you were wondering about the photo, that is my husband. It is what he wore for Halloween to work a couple years back, maybe just before COVID, I think. And so, see, I do like how that silver looks in that unplug right there, but no, I'm going to change it. And so he is an IT guy at his company, and so I thought it was appropriate to do this that says unplug. His knuckles say Wi-Fi data on them. They don't always say that, and he does not have tattoos in real life, but and he doesn't have a mohawk in real life. He did for a short while for this particular day because he likes to commit to his costume, so he actually did shave his head, but the color and everything else was washout color and all that good stuff. But he had a good time. His company kind of goes all out for Halloween, and they do some crazy, really creative stuff. He works for an architectural firm, and there are a lot of really creative designers in there, and so it's always like a big party on Halloween. So I pulled out this 6.5 by 6.5 inch paper from Kaisercraft. I don't know if it's from Workshop or from Factory 42. It's from one of the two. It's from the paper pad, but it has circuitry on it as well. And then this other black piece is also from the same pad, and it's got some, it's not pipe work, but it looks like it could be pipe work or something like from a mechanical room or something. I don't know what it's called, but it works well for this photo, so I decided to go ahead and use that. And I am distressing the edges just to give it a little bit of extra ruggedness, because in the photo he looks like he's a rugged kind of guy. And masculine layouts, they look great with all that rugged looking stuff on it, so I thought that was perfect. So I went ahead and trimmed off my border, and I am going to I'm going to distress all of the edges of the white paper, and then I'm going to put it onto the black, and I'm going to use some liquid adhesive to do that at some point. I'm going to use my ATG to hold it down, but I will add some liquid adhesive to really hold it, because it's got mixed media, so it does want to like curl up a little bit in the corners. So I pulled out my fired brick. Is that right? Fired brick? I don't know. It's the brick. The brick Oxide Ink. So, and I actually tried aged mahogany, I think, in regular Oxide Ink, but I didn't like that. It didn't cover very well. So I pulled out the fired brick one and used the Oxide Ink, put it down. It made it a lot more red to match the background, but I don't know, it wasn't doing it for me, so I used a baby wipe and tapped it off, and now it looks really close to what the background looked like. So I cut 2 more versions of it, and I'm going to layer it up. I already layered one of them. I didn't make you sit through that because the process is a little bit time consuming, but I just left it on my silhouette mat. I don't recommend doing that if you are not really good with applying your glue because you'll end up with glue all over your mat. But I tend to be pretty good about it, and I was willing to take that risk. And anyway, I'm layering it up 3 times to give it a little extra punch and to dimension. And I'm liking how that's looking. And see, now you can't read it at all. So I should have left it silver. But then I went through my Nuvo sparkle spray, and I found this one that's called Japanese Maple. And I decided to rub that on and go over the entire thing, and it looks much better now. I know it's harder to read on the screen now than it was with the silver, but in real life you can read it a lot better. So then I went to my black bins and my bin of black ephemera and red ephemera, and I pulled out a few labels. I also went over to the Lily Pad, which is digital. They do digital printables for hybrid scrapbooking. You probably could use them for digital scrapbooking. And they had this mini kit for like $3.50, and it had all of these tech related items in it. So USB cord, a CD-ROM, an old 3-inch floppy drive, 3.5 inch, I don't know, and a thumb drive. And I printed those out on my Canon Pro 100, and then I fussy cut them out. And then I am going to go ahead and tuck those into my background. I am finishing up this layout at a crop, so that's why you see my hands going crazy, because I'm talking to other people as I am scrapbooking. So my apologies for that. And now you can kind of see the unplug title a little bit better. I really like the way that it's looking. I thought I might use the label off of that floppy drive instead of the red one that I've got at the top. But when I cut it out and I stuck it up there, it didn't look as good because there was too much red. I actually needed that white space up above to be able to write on and to make it stand out a little bit more. So I just left the white label up there with the red border around it instead of using the one from the floppy drive. I'll stick that in the bin of red ephemera and goodies and use it on some other layout. But here you go. You see, it just doesn't pop as much. I think because that dark strip of the red blends in too much with the black. The black that has the white around it is actually a sticker that's going to peel off the white. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing everything down and hope that it all stays where it is supposed to stay. I don't make you sit through the entire gluing process because I don't really move anything around. You're going to see the close-ups here in just a bit. And hopefully you enjoyed this layout. Don't forget to check out everyone else who is playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. We are all using the same layout to lift and be inspired by. So I'm curious to see what everyone else will do. The links are going to be down below for that, as are the links to May I Scraplift You. May I Scraplift You. And those links will be probably for different people and definitely be for different layouts. So if you are needing some inspiration today, there's a lot of inspiration out there for you. I'm going to tuck in this thumb drive, and then I think I am pretty much done. Yep, there is the finished completed layout. I think I really like how it came out. It's very masculine. It's definitely a nod to my husband and his computer geekiness. And I hope that you enjoyed it too. Thanks so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe as well. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another May I Scraplift You. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.